everybody. So I thought I would do a very gentle seated yoga practice today. Just a very gentle stretch. And looks like my cat Maichi is going to join us, as he often does as I start my practice. So welcome everybody. This is going to be a great opportunity for you to bring some nice, gentle, small, slow movement into your body. You can do that seated on a chair if that is best for you. Today I'm going to do this seated on my couch. So I'm going to start by, I've just got my weight forward a little bit on the couch, so I'm not sitting all the way back, but I'm just shifting my weight forward and I'm just planting my feet on the floor. If you cannot get your feet flat on the floor, depending on the surface that you're sitting on, you can always put a couple of books or maybe a folded up blanket or a towel underneath your feet, just to bring a little bit of height. And maybe you can get into a place that the legs are bent at a right angle degree. If that doesn't feel good for you, you can also work with walking the feet forward a little bit so that the angle is not so deep in the knees. And we're gonna just start by resting the hands wherever it's comfortable, whether that's on the legs or down to the sides. And we're just gonna gently roll the shoulders up and back, taking those movements to the amount that it feels right for you. And if you have not tried yoga before, yoga is really an opportunity to tune in and listen to your body for what feels best for you. And I really love yoga because it gives me the opportunity to check in and just see, how am I feeling today, right? Because how I'm feeling today might be very different than how I felt yesterday and from how I might feel tomorrow, or even an hour ago or an hour from now. Ultimately, we're checking in with what's happening in this moment. Let's do one more nice circle here, and then go ahead and change the direction of that circle. And then you might just see for yourself if that feels any different going this direction. You can always just choose to go for one circle. You can alternate. So we're just doing the variation or the modification that feels best for you right now. Listening to your body. We're working to keep the breath nice and slow and easy. If you're finding that you're feeling out of breath or anything doesn't feel right in your body, then please listen to yourself and stop. And then maybe try again another time. Good. From here, I'm just bringing my hands beside me. You can also choose to have the hands on the legs if that feels better for you, but if you've got the space to let the hands hang down the side of the couch or the chair, and we're just going to work to open up the hands. So I'm turning my palms forward towards the screen and close the hands. Opening the hands gently and close. So I've got a little bit of range of motion here that I can fully open my palms to face forward. You might not have that much range of motion, and that's okay. You might just get to the point that the thumbs just reach forward, and that's totally fine. Just going nice and slowly and just letting the breath happen naturally for you. We don't have to worry about any specific breath here. I'm just going for a nice, gentle, easy breath. Let's go for two more here. Opening the hands and close. Opening the hands and close. Good. From here, I'm going to bring my arms forward, and you can keep it closer in towards you if that feels better for you. We're going to open up through the wrists a little bit. So I'm going to start by turning the fingers up towards the ceiling. Bring the hands back to face forward. I turn my fingers up, and I turn my palms just straight down to the floor for now. So you can keep going like this with a nice gentle bend in your arms. Again, if you wanted to go a little bit deeper, you can do this with the arms forward and just focusing on keeping nice and relaxed in the neck and in the shoulders. Let's go for one or two more here. And you might find for yourself that maybe one hand can go a little bit more than the other. That's okay. We're just checking in with what's happening. Last one. Good. And now I'm going to let my fingertips reach down towards the ground, and then reach those fingertips forward. Fingertips down towards the floor and bringing it forward. And at any point, you can always change the position that you're seated in. Let's go for a couple more. Those of you that have a little bit more range of motion, option to even bring yourself down to the floor if you want to go for that. Many choices. Let's go for one more here. Good. Now from here, I'm going to turn my palms to face towards each other. Again, elbows can be close in towards the body if you want to modify a little more gentler today, or we can reach those arms open. Here we're going to bring just a little bit of awareness with our breath here. So take a nice full deep breath in, and I'm opening my arms, and then I exhale to close. Inhaling to open, and exhale to close. Remember, you can keep those elbows close in towards you. Hi, Maichi. Are you going to do some yoga? Okay. Maichi loves when I do any sort of stretching or yoga. He tends to join me on my mat. Let's go for a couple more here. Remember, elbows can be bent. You might just go a little bit. So we're not trying to force anything. We're trying to move with as much ease as possible. Good. And then go ahead and rest your hands down on your legs. From here, we're going to inhale to reach one arm up. Maybe it reaches up towards the ceiling. And bring that down. We're just going to keep going with that hand. I float the arm up. And I float it back down. Hello. Float that arm up. And bring it down. And I'm just going nice and gentle. My elbow and my wrist is nice and soft. One more here. Yes. And then we'll try the other side. Reach it up and float it down. So I'm thinking of a nice fluid motion, and I'm focusing on not letting my shoulder lift up. So we want to try not to shrug the shoulder here. And again, maybe we just go just a little bit. Just a little bit. Remember, if you're getting out of breath, please stop. That might be enough for you today. If you feel like you need a sip of water, please get yourself a sip of water. Let's go for one more here. And sometimes I find it's helpful just to rest my hands down. I often like to rest the hands on the belly, or you can bring one hand up to the chest and just take a couple breaths here, and I might think to myself, what do I need right now? What does my body need right now? What will be best for me in this moment? Good. Let's take one more full deep breath. Great, and then we're going to do one more here, bringing those arms back down, and then we're going to open up the arms as much as you can. So if you have the ability to turn your palms forward, you can do that. If you don't, then just opening as much as you can. So maybe that's just thumbs pointing towards the camera and the palms are facing in towards the legs. And we're going to reach those arms out to the sides now, this direction. All right, so palms might reach down to the floor, or maybe now the palms are reaching forward towards the screen. As we reach those arms as high up as it feels comfortable for you, maybe even all the way up overhead, focusing on keeping those shoulders nice and soft. Let's go for 3 more here. If you want to match your movement with your breath, you can take a breath in as you reach those arms up. Exhale to float it down. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale down. Good. And then from here, we're just going to open and close the hands a few times. The hands can rest however it's comfortable for you. Nice. And then maybe see if you can wiggle your fingertips a little bit. Good. And then resting the hands back where it feels comfortable for you. Take another full deep breath or two. Wonderful. And I want to thank you so much for joining me today in this gentle seated practice. And I'll plan on doing another one shortly to focus a little bit more on the lower body another time. So I hope you enjoyed this practice and wishing you well for the rest of your day today.